And tonight at 5, a vote in the state Senate this week means Republicans have managed to block a statewide ban on conversion therapy. What's next for communities?
Plus, how our Call for Action team is helping one woman who learned she was paying her medical bills twice.
And today's your last chance to share your input on the Lake Monona redesign project, how you can make your voices heard. You're watching News 3 now at 5. Thanks for staying with us. Spring may have officially begun, but snow returns to southern Wisconsin this weekend.
Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti is tracking our first warn alert day, and he joins us from the weather patio with the latest. Gary?
Yeah, it's pretty nice out here right now, Susan, but yes, we do have a first warn alert day in the forecast from late Friday night into Saturday. Let's start out by taking a look at the reason for that alert day. Accumulating snow is expected over much of southern Wisconsin. Heaviest amounts will probably be southeast of Dane County, where a narrow band of more than 6 inches of snow is a possibility, but the amounts will taper off pretty quickly to the north and west, and areas north and west of Wisconsin Dells might not see much, if any, in the way of snow accumulation. This is kind of what we're thinking of right now. Again, a narrow band about a county wide to our south and to our east, but this could shift north or south by maybe a county or two depending on temperatures and the exact track of the storm. Visible cloud track shows a narrow band of white on the ground from northern Iowa into southwestern Wisconsin. That was snow that accumulated last night. In fact, snow vision accumulation estimates show perhaps as much as 3 or 4 inches of snow fell in a very narrow band through Richland County. But Doppler track right now, free of precipitation across the state. Current temperatures, not as mild as yesterday, but still above freezing. So what snow did fall last night, starting to melt. 46 right now in Janesville, 43 in Madison, across Dane County, 44 in Belleville, and 45 in Middleton. Look for skies to be partly cloudy this evening. Temperatures will drop into the lower 30s by late evening. But again, it's that time period from later tomorrow night into Saturday that we have the potential for some accumulating snow. I'll have more on that in the forecast in just a few minutes.
All right, Gary, thank you. Stay up to date on the weather in your area on our First Warn Forecast weather app. It has hourly forecasts, road conditions, school closings, and the latest radar. You can download it for free in your phone's app store. Just search WISC Weather. A vote in the state Senate this week means conversion therapy is now allowed again in the state of Wisconsin.
But even as Republicans managed to block a statewide ban, 14 cities across the state have prohibited the controversial practice. Our Braden Ross joins us now with more on how local activists are responding. Braden?
Yeah, those municipal bans in cities like Madison and Sun Prairie won't be affected by what's going on at the Capitol. And activists say they're set on ending the practice, even if that means taking things city by city.
Wednesday, Wisconsin Senate Republicans voted to allow conversion therapy for minors.
They are reinstating conversion therapy in the state of Wisconsin with their actions.
The controversial practice aimed at changing gender identity or sexuality of a patient was first banned at a statewide level under Governor Tony Evers in 2020. In response, Republicans brought legislation to block that ban, a bill that expired when it didn't make it to the floor for a vote before the end of the legislative session last year. Now they're re-upping that legislation, something Democrats see as taking advantage of legislative procedure.
They're going to let this bill sit in committee all session without a hearing or a vote. They're going to do this not because they actually want to pass this bill, but because every day that it sits in committee, conversion therapy is allowed to continue.
But while the bill is still stalled at the state level, some activists have their sights set a little lower.
I started an organization called People Against Conversion Therapy back in 2017 and worked with then Councilman Cavalier Johnson in Milwaukee to actually introduce the first municipal ban in the state of Wisconsin back in 2018. And then we did the same thing in Madison, and now over a dozen cities in the state of Wisconsin have passed bans on conversion therapy on minors.
They say blocks and bans in the Capitol building won't change their resolve at a local level.
What I know that I will continue to fight for, and what so many amazing advocates in our community will continue to fight for, is ending this practice once and for all. And if we have to do that by banning it in every single city and municipality and county before the legislature takes action, so be it. That's what we'll do.
Now, no Republican lawmakers spoke in favor of conversion therapy before they all voted for it this week. The Republican-controlled legislature is likely to keep this block in place until the end of the legislative session in 2024. If they do send the bill to Evers' desks, it's likely that he would not sign it.
Braden, thank you. Most of you are no stranger to the mess that our medical billing system can be.
For one Madison woman, it turned into a nightmare when her kidney dialysis came with a price, and then the price tag doubled. Our Catherine Merck has been following her story and how our Call for Action team stepped in to help. Catherine?
Dr. Fabu Carter is well known here in Madison. For 2 years, she says she was paying through her health savings account to Fresenius Medical Care for her kidney dialysis. And that was also out of her own pocket. For months, she tried to get them to help without success. She called our Call for Action team, and they ran into the same problems trying to get Connect Your Care to pay the bills she was already trying to pay them to cover.
This has been pretty much the longest and the most intense case I think I've had to deal with.
Every time I called, I was starting all over. No one knew the story. No one could intervene and help.
Her story points out many problems with our healthcare system, especially when trying to call customer service lines with difficult problems. The full Call for Action investigation airs tonight at 5:30 before March Madness basketball.
We will see you then, Catherine. Thank you. Today is your last day to share your thoughts on a set of design plans that will change Lake Monona's waterfront. The design challenge launched last year to bring a greater sense of connection between Lake Monona and the downtown area. The project aims to transform around 1.7 miles of shoreline between Olin and Law Park. To take the survey and to share your thoughts on the 3 final design submissions, look for this story on channel3000.com. Well, it is a day Wisconsin music fans look forward to the most. Summerfest has announced its lineup for the year. This year marks the 55th anniversary of the music festival. It will once again be running the 3-weekend model it's used in recent years, kicking off with Eric Church, the Zach Brown Band, and James Taylor on the opening weekend. Other notable acts include the Avett Brothers, Dave Matthews Band, Earth, Wind and Fire, and Youngblood. You'll find more information on this in our story on channel3000.com.
Well, today marks the 13th anniversary of the signing of the Affordable Care Act, also known as Obamacare. President Joe Biden plans to give remarks at the White House on the key accomplishments of the landmark bill. Biden will also mention steps he's taken as president to boost the legislation, including capping out-of-pocket drug costs for seniors on Medicare. Governor Tony Evers released a statement recognizing the anniversary. He said he's proud to deliver on his promise to withdraw from a lawsuit that could have gutted health care for millions. He's also proud of the continued work to expand access to quality, affordable health care across Wisconsin.
TikTok is facing an existential threat as its CEO was questioned about the video app's security and ownership by Congress. During today's hearing, U.S. lawmakers repeated calls to ban the app. But TikTok's CEO said the app does not collect any more data than other social media companies. The CEO also attempted to reassure Congress that his company has taken action to resolve fears that the Chinese government could gain access to TikTok user data.
The bottom line is this: American data stored on American soil by an American company, overseen by American personnel.
Some experts say an all-out ban in the U.S. would be difficult considering free speech, and the app has millions of users. They say a middle ground restriction is more likely.
As a New York grand jury considers whether or not to indict the former president, there's been a major development in another Trump-related investigation. The Office of Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg says the former president created, quote, a false expectation of his arrest in connection with its investigation into a hush money payment made in 2016 to adult film star Stormy Daniels. The comment came in a letter sent to the Republican chairs of 3 House committees after they accused Bragg of abusing his authority. A federal appeals court has also ordered Trump's lawyer Evan Corcoran to testify about his communications with Trump concerning the handling of classified materials. He's expected to appear before a grand jury tomorrow. And we have a quick programming note about our evening newscasts as the NCAA tournament continues. Tonight and tomorrow, CBS will be airing coverage of the games. That means News 3 Now at 6 will air at 5:30, preempting the CBS Evening News. News 3 Now at 10 will air right after the late game around 11 o'clock. As always, if you miss any of our newscasts, you can watch them archived on channel3000.com. And as the NCAA tournament continues tonight, we're sharing how our anchor teams are doing in the bracket battle.
We're holding our own there, Mark. In terms of tonight's games, Mark and I have Gonzaga advancing. We also picked Purdue, Kentucky, and Kansas to move in, but of course all three of those teams have been eliminated. The only good news is that our national champion, the team we picked to win it all, the Houston Cougars, are still in it for now.
Actually, we have Michigan State tonight as well.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So we have two teams.
So maybe we'll move up on the morning show.
Hopefully.
Fingers crossed.
All right, next at 5, Gary has more on a snowy upcoming alert day.
Plus, a new report found more children are being diagnosed with autism. We'll have details when we return. And later, how do judges separate their views from the law when they're deciding cases? Wisconsin Supreme Court candidate Dan Kelly is answering questions after sharing the stage with a pastor that some feel is controversial. We'll have that story and more coming up at 5:30.
A positive day on Wall Street. The Dow Industrial is up 75 points. The NASDAQ up 117. The S&P 500 gained 11. And we'll be right back.
Get the absolute best pricing now during Furniture and Appliance Mart's 54th anniversary sale. 4-piece packages start at $63 a month after rebate, plus your choice of 6 months interest-free financing or low monthly payment options at Furniture and Appliance Mart inside Ashley.
There are so many things we take for granted, and along with them, sometimes we take the people who depend on them for granted too. How can they survive with record increases in their basic cost of living? And through no fault of their own, they're being left behind. If you or someone you know needs a hand up, our energy and water providers are working together to keep you safely in your home. You may not ask for it, but we're here to help.
There were severe health complications with my baby when I was pregnant. We made the decision to have an abortion so our daughter wouldn't suffer. Dan Kelly doesn't believe that women should even have that freedom. On the Supreme Court, Dan Kelly will uphold the criminal ban on abortion. Someone you love might struggle with a pregnancy like I did. And that's why we can't have an extremist like Dan Kelly on the Supreme Court.
To everyone who believes in tradition, come enjoy a few of ours from Wisconsin.
People in Wisconsin love a good fish fry.
Really love. And we love sharing it with guests everywhere.
At Culver's, we still batter our North Atlantic cod by hand to order.
And we cook it to a crispy, golden perfection just for you.
For you.
For you. So it's crispy outside, flaky inside. Let us take care of you.
With some homegrown traditions we were raised on.
From Wisconsin with love.
Welcome to Delicious.
Create your perfect room for entertaining, relaxing, and more with patio enclosures. Right now, get 25% off your sunroom. Plus, enjoy exceptional financing. Call today.
Patio enclosures.
Team, I need a volunteer. We need promotional products.
I'm on it. 4imprint makes promotional product success easy. For high-quality items, go to 4imprint.com.
4imprint, for certain. Get the absolute best pricing now during Ashley's anniversary event. We've marked down everything to match online prices, all backed by our 30-day price guarantee. Get your choice of 6 months interest-free financing or low monthly payment options and free local delivery, only at Ashley.
A first warn weather alert day has been placed in the forecast for Friday night and Saturday for accumulating snow. At 6, I'll let you know how much snow to expect.
And Supreme Court candidate Dan Kelly addresses his appearance at a far-right event tonight at 6.
You feel powerless.
It took a year of working with our Call for Action volunteers for a Madison woman to resolve a healthcare billing issue. Catherine Merck brings you a Call for Action investigation into a kidney dialysis horror story. Tonight at 5:30.
You're watching News 3 Now at 5.
New tonight at 5, Colorado authorities say they have found the body of a student wanted in yesterday's Denver school shooting. Police confirmed the remains are those of East High School shooting suspect, 17-year-old Austin Lyle. Lyle was accused of shooting 2 deans at the school while being patted down. He was reportedly under a safety agreement at the school due to past behavior, which resulted in him being searched at the beginning of the school day. One of the victims remains in critical condition.
New numbers from the CDC show more children are being diagnosed with autism, and for the first time, prevalence rates are higher among racial and ethnic groups. The research also suggests during the pandemic, some kids didn't get the early intervention and treatment they needed. Bradley Blackburn has more.
When Channing Flack was 1 year old, his mom, Lauren, sensed something was different about her son.
It was like the milestones just kind of stopped. You know, he wasn't saying mama and dada. He wasn't pointing for things.
At almost 2.5, he was diagnosed with autism and started therapy immediately.
What the diagnosis does is it gives you a means to resources that you would not have available otherwise.
A new CDC report shows 1 in 36 children has been identified with an autism spectrum disorder in the United States, an increase from 1 in 44 children in 2018.
A lot of the increase is likely due to changes in practice, improvements in early detection, availability of services.
For the first time, the percentage of Asian, Black, and Hispanic children diagnosed was higher than among white children. But when it comes to detecting autism early, a second CDC report suggests the pandemic could have long-lasting impacts.
More children were getting identified every month until March 2020. And then that progress was wiped out.
Early intervention is key. I don't feel like Channing would be thriving as much as he is now had we not, gotten the help that we needed as quickly as possible.
Tell me what you want.
Channing is now 6 and in kindergarten. He communicates using a tablet.
You want to swing?
He is the joy of our lives. I wouldn't trade him for the world.
The family started a foundation called Channing's Joy to promote inclusion and awareness and help other kids like him thrive. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News.
And the CDC has a program called Learn the Signs, Act Early, which can help parents monitor children's development to share their information with their doctors. To learn more, go to cdc.gov/act-early.
Let's head over to Gary. He has the latest on a potential storm coming our way, an alert day tomorrow. Gary?
Right, yeah, this is actually for later tomorrow night into Saturday. We have that first warned weather alert day in the forecast for accumulating snow over much of our viewing area, although areas to the north and west of Wisconsin Dells might see very little in the way of snowfall, but mainly south and east of Wisconsin Dells, everybody should see accumulating snow, and the amounts could vary widely. We could see maybe an inch between maybe northwestern Dane County and the Dells, and as much as 6 inches or more south and east of Dane County in a very narrow band. Everything has to line up just right for that heaviest band of snow to develop. But 3 things you need to know in the short term. We're just looking at dry weather through most of the day tomorrow, and in fact into tomorrow evening. And then the best chances for snow about from midnight tomorrow night into about noon on Saturday, and then chilly weather with below normal temperatures continue for next week, especially if we have accumulating snow on the ground. Future track beginning at about 8:30 tomorrow evening shows the clouds starting to spread northward out of Illinois. Notice rain then as it crosses over the Illinois state line changes over to snow, and there'll be a sharp northern cutoff on the northern edge of the snow. So again, it gets about to the Dells, north and west of there, very little in the way of snow accumulations, but pretty steady snow and some bands of heavier snow over much of southeastern Wisconsin. And notice those temperatures right around 32 or just a little bit below that. There could also be a little bit of sleet or freezing rain mixed in as well down toward the Illinois state line. Noon Saturday, the back edge of the snow approaching Madison, and then during the afternoon it sweeps off to the east, and we actually see some sunshine farther to the north and west. Again, the thinking about a narrow band, maybe a county-wide of about 6 inches of snow or a little bit more from around Janesville over toward just north of Milwaukee, about 3 to 6 inches south and east of Madison, but the amounts drop off pretty quickly to the north and west. And north and west of the Dells, maybe little in the way of any snow accumulation. But the storm kind of comes together right on top of us. It's not like a storm that's been there for a couple of days and moves in. So everything has to come together just right to get the snow here. And as far as the snow amounts, we look at those national blend of models. Last night at 8 p.m., the information showed about a 50% chance of 1.3 inches of snow in Madison with a top end of about 13 inches. Take a look at the newest information from 8 a.m. this morning. Went from 1.3 inches to 3.8, and that's at the 50% level. But notice, about a 25% chance of nothing happening and a 25% chance of almost 10 inches of snow. So that is a big range. And again, the variability is there because of the differences in the computer model forecast. Look for a low of 26 in Madison overnight with partly cloudy skies, 26 in Lone Rock, 26 in Baraboo. Tomorrow, during the day, no problem. Partly sunny, not as chilly, high temperature at 47 degrees. As we look at our first warned 7 to 10 day forecast, and the snow from Friday night into Saturday morning, tapering to flurries Saturday afternoon. Temperatures on the chilly side for much of next week. Mainly some rain chances toward the second half of the week, although those rain showers could be mixed with snow at night when temperatures are closer to freezing. As we check out your first warned traffic, right now things looking pretty good. There's a view of the Beltline at Park Street. You can see traffic relatively light. Flex lanes again doing their thing, so no problems on most of the Beltline. Just a little bit of a slowdown as you approach Monona Drive. Looks like there might be an accident just being reported right around Stoughton Road. We'll have to see if that affects traffic. But right now, about a 15-minute trip either way on the Beltline between University Avenue and the interstate. Heading out of Madison, 24 minutes from the Beltline to Janesville on I-3990. Quick 16 minutes, middle to Sauk City on US 12, and downtown to Sun Prairie on East Washington Avenue is 17 minutes. That's your News 3 Now for sworn traffic.
All right, Gary, thank you. As Women's History Month continues, we'll introduce you to an airline captain and how she's paving the way for other women. Her story next at 5.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
It's time to march into deer season. Get your John Deere 1025R with a 120R loader for just $195 per month. Get a John Deere now. And
power up at Sloan's.
Think Sloan's first.
Get 11% off your next bathroom project at Menards. A brand new Magic Woods vanity is the perfect addition to your bathroom. Magic Woods offers innovative trend-setting styles that will surely bring your vision to life. Get this Brighton bathroom vanity for $229.97 after rebate. Complement your new look with Lions. Menards carries a great selection of Lions tubs and showers that will match your style and your budget. Right now, all Lions bathing solutions are 11% off.
Save big money at Menards.
You've got this. You didn't think your sister would take you up on the dog sitting offer, but here you are. Barriers? Purchased. Doggy distractions? No expense spared. Yeah, you've got this. Just like Associated Bank's got you with $50 overdraft grace zone. So when you have to make a purchase, or 7, to prepare, you can be sure we're looking out for you. So you can look out for him. You've got this with Associated Bank.
There were severe health complications with my baby when I was pregnant. We made the decision to have an abortion so our daughter wouldn't suffer. Dan Kelly doesn't believe that women should even have that freedom. On the Supreme Court, Dan Kelly will uphold the criminal ban on abortion. Someone you love might struggle with a pregnancy like I did. And that's why we can't have an extremist like Dan Kelly on the Supreme Court.
All right, team, we got a big project coming up. And it all starts with ordering promotional products.
I'm on it. 4imprint makes it easy to get the logoed products you're looking for. The latest in apparel, drinkware, bags, high-tech items, and more. You can be certain of getting it right at 4imprint.com.
Come on out. I'm on it.
4imprint for certain. It's time to march into deer season. Get your John Deere Gator utility vehicle with 0% for 36 months and no money down. Get a John Deere Gator now. And
power up at Sloan's.
Think Sloan's first.
You're watching News 3 Now at 5.
As we continue to celebrate Women's History Month, we are sharing the story of an airline captain, Mullis Ward.
She was the very first black female captain for a major U.S. airline. Danya Backus shows us how she's working to make sure other women can follow her path.
You need to pull back a little bit.
Whether it's inside a United Airlines flight simulator or flying the friendly skies, Melissa Ward has soared to new heights in aviation during her more than 3 decades-long career.
You know, I never started my career thinking I'm going to trailblaze. I always just felt like I was going to do my job.
In 1998, she became the first black woman captain at United Airlines and the first in the U.S. to fly commercial airplanes. But even before flying with United, she was a pioneer, the only woman to graduate in her Air Force pilot training class and the first black woman instructor pilot in the Air Force.
People saw me in my flight suit and they were like, wait a minute, are you here for pilot training? I'm like, yes. They're like, we've never seen anyone like you. So that was the first time I had an awareness that this was something groundbreaking.
She is now dedicated to bringing other women along for the ride.
There is something about trailblazing that's important, and it's not about the status for yourself, but it's about the opportunities for people behind you.
She plays a part in the ascension of female pilots. She is a flight evaluator at United's Flight Training Center and helps recruit through the United Aviate Academy. The flight school plans to train at least 5,000 new pilots by 2030, with the goal of at least half of them being women or people of color.
My job was to make the road wider. And then the people behind me, the job is to make the road smoother. And so it should continue on and continue on until there are no more roads anyway, you know, and no one is talking about this because we've done it all.
Pull back a little bit.
And she's cleared the runway for the next generation of black women pilots to know this flight path is possible. Danya Backus, CBS News, Los Angeles.
Very inspiring. Captain Ward went from being the first black female captain to now one of 8, according to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics.
Only 5.6% of pilots are women and 6% are people of color. And we'll have a final check of your first warn forecast when we come back.
There are so many things we take for granted. So many things. And along with them, sometimes we take the people who depend on them for their survival for granted too. The elderly, disabled, the veterans, people on limited and fixed incomes, or folks that lost jobs in sectors hardest hit during the pandemic. How can they survive with record increases in their basic cost of living? Some people just can't come back. And through no fault of their own, they're being left behind, struggling to keep their heat, water, and power on. If you or someone you know needs a hand up, our heat, water, and power providers are working together to keep you safely in your home. You may not ask for it, but we're here to help.
It's the Mattress Madness event at Steinhafels. The best time to buy your new mattress. Test rest the new Beauty Rest Black for your chance to win a dream vacation to Hawaii. Steinhafels has all the best brands at the best prices. And with our 72-month special financing, your new mattress just got more affordable. Plus, with free delivery and our 120-night sleep guarantee, you can't go wrong. Shop in-store or online at steinhafels.com.
Surgenian's landfill-free guarantee has kept more than 20 million pounds of commercial and residential carpet and pad from area landfills. Visit Madison's largest showroom of flooring options, including eco-friendly products. Local, sustainable Surgenian's.
Team, I need a volunteer. We need promotional products.
I'm on it. 4imprint makes promotional product success easy. For high-quality items, go to 4imprint.com.
4imprint, for certain.
Gary's here now. Quiet for now.
Yeah, take a look at the live view from the WISC-TV Skycam. Sunshine returns to southern Wisconsin. The Platteville Queen Bee Radio Skycam looking just as nice. And tomorrow, I think it will be a pretty nice day during the day, but Things change for tomorrow night. Current temperatures, not as mild as yesterday, but still 43 Madison, 46 in Janesville. A little cooler closer to Lake Michigan, but most of southern Wisconsin seeing temperatures in the 40s, including 45 in Middleton, 42 in Deerfield, and 42 in Sun Prairie. For this evening, look for partly cloudy skies. Temperatures dropping into the lower 30s, but again, that first warned weather alert day in the forecast from later tomorrow night into Saturday morning for about 1 to 6 inches of snow south and east of the Dells. The heaviest amounts southeast of Dane County. That's kind of what we're looking at for snowfall potential through Saturday afternoon.
All right, thank you, Gary. Stay with us, everybody. News 3 at 6 comes up next, immediately following this show, and then it's basketball tonight.